It's Tasha, mom turned minimalist, and today I wanted to talk to you about my minimal care garden routine, which is actually one of my favorite forms of self-care. I think humans share a lot in common with plants. For instance, we both need sunlight. And if we don't get enough water, we wither up and die. So make sure to always get enough water. Honestly, fam, I had been in a bit of a funk, and I realized that it was because I hadn't been able to do much in my garden for almost a week. I mean, I really don't do much in my garden anyway, but just being able to go out there for even 10 minutes a day to water the plants or remove some weeds, it really energizes me, and I didn't realize how much I needed it until I couldn't do it for a few days. So today, I just wanted to show you my garden and my easy gardening routine. This is not an aesthetically pleasing garden tour. This is my minimalist garden that requires minimal care. And the plants that you will see get what they get and they don't get upset. Because if they get upset, they die. So they just learn to take whatever is given to them and ration it out as they need to. And then they make sure to pay me back exponentially when it is time to eat them. It's a very fair relationship. If you found the water bath you received earlier to be refreshing, consider clicking that like button and subscribing if you aren't already. Each subscription comes with one free water bath per year and unlimited chuckles if you are into corny jokes about minimalism. Anyway, here's my 2 garden beds that my hubby made for us last year during the pandemic. We ordered soil for the garden and it had a bunch of rocks in it. I think we got gypped, but the crop is bountiful, so we have let bygones be bygones. I'll probably top it off with better soil next year, but for now, we're okay. I have a bunch of lettuce, kale, and some tomatoes. Oh, and there's a mint bush. It gets rampant if you don't keep it in check. I don't know that you can really kill mint unless you try really, really hard. At least that's my personal experience. Anyway, mint is great to put in your water for a refreshing drink. If you look in my compost pile, there's like 10 tomato plants growing. I don't know what kind they are, but I also take some of the heftier ones and put them in the ground too. It's kind of fun not knowing. Almost like when you make a baby and don't find out the gender until they pop out. That's what we're gonna do with these random tomato plants. Live life on the edge, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, cutting out the seedling purchases has saved us tons of money. I only bought 1 bag of container soil this year, and that's the extent of my garden purchases.
I'm done digging over there.
You're done digging over there? Alright, well, there's some weeds here.
How are they?
Right here, these guys. Alright, so go ahead and dig those out. My awesome neighbor gave me a bunch of rich soil as well. He looked over the fence at my garden and probably felt bad for me. So I put it on my garden beds in the back where I'm growing some flowers. Here's some sunflowers and marigolds and some random lettuces. The story behind these lettuces is, I guess it's not really lettuces, but you know what, we just gonna go with it. A bunch of them randomly grew in my compost pile. I thought they were weeds, and then when I got closer, I realized I had like 8 of them. So I picked them out and spread them all over the yard. I know that's not how you typically use a compost pile, but I'm not complaining and I don't ask questions. I just take what the magical compost pile gives me, and now I don't have to get salad greens at the grocery for a bit. I got a row of lettuces. We're gonna eat good this summer. By the way, I made this video as part of a Routines and Rhythms collaboration with some of my fellow minimalist YouTubers. So make sure to check out their videos in the playlist as well. I'll link it in the description and at the end of this video. This is my first year growing kale straight from the ground, and I'm happy that they were successful, although not properly spaced. The squash, it's a zucchini. I put 2 seeds in the ground and 1 popped out when I had already lost all hope. So that's awesome because I used to buy a seedling each year. This other squash back here, I don't know what kind it is, but it came to me from, you guessed it, the compost pile. It's just the pile that keeps on giving. We shall find out together what it is. If you are interested in a garden update in like a month or so, let me know in the comments below. It will be a jungle by then because the tomatoes and squash really get out of control. That's usually what happens near the end of the summer. I've had these blackberry bushes ever since I moved into this house, maybe for 7 years, and they give us lots of fruit each year for like 2 weeks. So you can't miss the window. Here's some blueberry bushes that I ordered from Amazon last year. They have survived the winter and lots of fruit is developing. And over here is a raspberry planting that I also added last year. There's no fruit yet, but maybe in like a year or two. I really don't know how raspberries work, but I am hopeful. I also have strawberries in this raised bed. They keep coming back every year despite my best efforts to ignore them. The berries are tiny though, but they get a little bigger each year and more plentiful. I don't know what this tree is behind it. I thought it died last year, but it came back and it's bigger now. So I need to figure out whether to really keep it around or not once I figure out what it is. I just remember putting a few avocado or peach pits in the soil there to see what would happen, and then that's what happened. But I don't remember which one it is. Most mornings before work, I try to get out to my garden and water everything. It's a nice, peaceful start to my day. Most of the time, I don't wear shoes because I try to do that whole grounding thing where you reset your magnetic energy or something by being connected with the earth. I think it works because I feel great after doing it. I basically take that 5 to 10 minutes each morning to center myself and say hi to all my plants and to revel in the wonder that somehow, some way, these plants grow and are able to provide me sustenance. It's really cool. Whenever I feel stressed, I love to pull out weeds rather than hair. Here you can see me clearing the last bit of garden bed out so I can put some compost tomato crops in there. I'm also trimming my neighbor's hedges. My old neighbor used to do this, but my new neighbor, I don't think they realize their tree bush thing is encroaching. And that's okay, because it's therapeutic to trim it down, and I got a nice little bath from the residual water on the leaves, as you can see on my shirt. What do you like to do for self-care? I'd love to hear from you below. Thanks for joining me on my self-care routine, and yeah, maybe if, hello. Just kidding. There's a lot of like stuff that I grow that's really easy to grow. Like green onions are really easy. Like you saw, they were like 10 feet tall and I don't even pay attention to them. They just come back every year. I feel like tomatoes are really easy. Like they were just growing out of the compost. Like I don't even have to like buy seedlings or anything because they just pop up and then I just pick the best ones and put them somewhere. If you are needing more inspiration on routines you can implement in your own life or ways to find routines that bring you joy, please do check out the other videos in the playlist. That's all I have for tonight. Thanks so much. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.